What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So behind me is all of the nano tanks that I set up, cube aquariums for my shrimp rack. They've now been set up for several weeks, about 3 weeks have been set up for. A week and a half ago I planted them, so they're now ready for some shrimp. Tell you what, let's just go get them and get on with it. So I'm back at Watermark in Bridgewater. Apparently they've got a big load of cherry shrimp, crystal reds and all those kind of blue bolts as well. Why am I jingling this? Anyway, let's go in and have a look. Whoa, okay, so we've got loads and loads of cherries here and we've got loads of pygmies as well. Awesome, pygmy coins. Yes, crystals. Crystal reds. I am going to buy a load of those. Oh, and we've got some tangerine, yellow fire shrimp as well, and some nice white clouds. They're really nice. I need some of those actually. Yes, we've got amanos finally. So they've also got these like freshwater clams here as well. So I've never kept them before, and they filter out the water. I think they'll be like a real interesting addition to one of the tanks. So I'm going to get one of those as well and see how they do. Number one. So down here we've got these banded cool loach as well from Asia. So I think they'd be like a really good addition to the Asian tank as well. Maybe come back another time for those though, not right now, but I really like them. Like little worms or snakes or something, I don't know. And also these guys are really interesting. I mean, they get, oh, that's too dark, whoops. They actually get quite big, but you can start them off in a small tank just to let them grow out. Obviously they're blue lobsters, so size-wise, look, 20 to 3 centimeters. I think that means 30, but you know, so it's decent size, but they look quite cool. Be very interested in something like that. And right next to them, look, we've got these crabs as well. Now, many of you keep telling me to get these because my son absolutely loved them, so maybe at some point we'll get something like that going as well. What are they? Thai red crab. So we've got our shrimp. Now I need to just put them into some of the tanks, well, one of the tanks. Which one am I going to do? I like this middle one. We'll go for the middle one. Put the shrimp in the water and just let them get used to the same temperature. In fact, I might even drip. Yeah, let's drip acclimating. That's better, much better. So that is the amanos in that little shallow bit of water. Don't worry, that'll be topped up very shortly. So I've got a little bit of airline hose on this suction. This is the tank I'm going to put the amanos in. So we just want to push it against the side like that, so that that is, you know, locked in. And then we can start our siphon. So to do that, you just got to suck on this end, tie a knot in it, and then we can get the perfect amount of drips per minute or per second or whatever, so that it doesn't just flood in really fast and it just goes in really steadily. Also, just whilst those amano shrimp are acclimating, I also bought in the shop 3 meters of the plant weights. Now, why do I need that? Okay, so all the plants in here, I don't know if you've seen on the previous video, I'll leave a link to it. All the plants in here have all got weights on them, and that's why they're able to stay in that such a small amount of substrate. Otherwise, they'll just float around everywhere. And I found that I could only buy like a few strips in the shop for quite a lot of money. So I saw this 3 meters worth for a few pounds and I got it. And then also I got this really nice looking thermometer. It just hooks over the edge, all glass, and that's going to look really smart in the aquarium. Oh, beautiful, look at that. So I don't know if you can see, but we're sitting at 21, 22 degrees. Some sites say that 24 degrees is optimal for crystal reds, but I found that I've been breeding them really well at this temperature before, so I don't see why I won't this time. Also, my tap water seems to be really good for crystals as well, so that's absolutely perfect. I don't actually have to do anything to the water. It can also help explain why my plants grow really well as well. Softer water, guys, that's basically what it is. Low TDS. Well, not low, but it's just not really high. So my GH normally sits at about 4 to 5 and TDS around 100 to 130, which is, you know, good levels. That's what I found anyway. So that's the Amanos all done. So I'm going to use this little baby net. I'll leave a link for this, guys. I know you're going to ask about it. I'm going to take out 5 of these guys. Is it focusing? Focus on them. They're so small. There you go. I'm going to take out 5 of them. I'm going to put 5 into this tank here, which is my Ember Tetra tank. Looking really good. What's that? Get off. So I'm going to put 3 of them into this aquarium. This is the Ember Tetra aquarium. I feel like it only needs 3, 4, 5, something like that. I'll get more, but I want to put 5 in one tank, 3 in here, and then I'm going to put 2 into the Tree on the Hill aquarium as well. We're getting a little bit of Fred algae in there, but it's been set up for about 3 weeks now, which means the water will be all okay to put some shrimp in. Remember, there's no filter in this tank, so I needed to wait before I could put any sort of livestock in. There are snails in there, so they've been producing waste, which, you know, will get the whole cycle going. And it's actually doing really well considering there's no stem plants in this setup. So that is the 5 Amanos in this tank. They're not going to breed or anything. I've just put them in there so for storage, ready for new setups in the future. But now it's time to get the crystals into there. I'm so messy. I need to tidy this up. In a minute. So that is now the shrimp, the crystal reds, all temperature acclimated, and it's time to get them in the tank. Right, I've collected them all up in this pot. Here we go. In now. Whoa, 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 whoa. Look at them go. Is that all of them? No, there's more in there still. There's more in there. I think that's all of them. Yep, all out. Way! Awesome. Oh, that's so good. Just look at them go. Look, you wouldn't think they've just been through a massively traumatic experience, moved, you know, across the country effectively, and we'll just get straight to work. Nah, that's all. We just must dig. We must dig. We must pick, we must pick, we must eat. That's it. That's all we're good for. No, you're not. You're also good, guys, for looking absolutely stunning. Hopefully we can get hundreds of them. But what about our freshwater clam? Well, he's now temperature, or he or she, I don't really know. Do they have a sex? Temperature acclimated. I'm going to put them in this tank here with the Amano shrimp. So we've got our water temperature of about 22 degrees. pH has just come out at, I'd say, about 6.6 to 6.8, which is really good. Tap water is 7, so the leaf and the soil is obviously bringing it down slightly, which is great because that's the really good conditions, parameters for the crystal reds. And as I say, the general hardness is at 4 degrees and TDS is sitting at 140. So, you know, really good ranges, looking good. So the crystals have been in the aquarium now for, well, 4 to 5 days, something like that, and they appear to be doing really, really well. So just underneath that plant there is a molt. Now, molting's a good sign. It shows that they're growing. That's how they grow. They grow into their shell, if you like. The shell pops off, and then they're left with their new shell. And then the process continues. That's why you've got to put calcium in so that they can actually use it for regrowing their shells. And someone left a comment last time, there was a really good idea. I should take all the used snail shells that I've got, crush them all up, and then I can make a powder and just place it in each and every one of the tank. I think that would be a really good thing to do. So I've ordered a pestle and mortar, or mortar and pestle, I don't know what way around. Anyway, something that can grind up the snail shells, because I've got an abundance of them in my aquarium at home, just because I'm overfeeding that at the moment deliberately. Now, I've also got 2 separate crystal reds in here from another tank that I had. They're the last remaining ones of an old batch that I was doing very well with, but when I moved the tank over to the studio, I had to drain it right down and refill it, and did not like that change at all, so I lost pretty much all of them. They're the last 2. Now, I don't know, I mean, assuming that's the reason that they died off, it might have been another reason. For that reason, I'm keeping them in there on their own just to observe them. If they do well, then I'll move them across into this tank. So there's about 20 in here now. I haven't, well, not that I know of, I haven't lost any. It's sometimes hard to tell with shrimp if you've lost any or not, because they'll just eat the body, and they're quick as well. They're quick at eating. Like, I can leave a load of pellets down here, and within, like, you know, a few hours, they're all gone. I mean, any that they don't get, the snails will get anyway. But, you know, any waste or dead things, gone in no time. So keeping a count is quite difficult. But yeah, really happy. They're obviously doing well in this tank, and that means that we can probably start getting some more shrimp for some of the other tanks. I really want to get the blue bolts next, so hopefully when I go back to that shop, they're going to have some. But if not, you know, I'm really up for ordering online as well, and just getting a different batch as well, and seeing what we get. I've never ordered things like that online before, so I really want some of the tiger shrimp as well to go in here. I think that look great. And also, guys, you've just seen that I've set up this. Well, I've done the build video for this in one of the videos you've just seen this weekend. This is doing great. It's been set up now for over a week. Obviously, you've only just seen the video, but it's been built before then. The fish are doing great, although you can only see 4 of them at the moment, the rest around the back or hiding. Anyway, when I come in the mornings and the lights have only just sort of come on, there tends to be the fish hanging around in the foliage or in the plants. Now this one here has got some tiny little, what I think are eggs. I think it's hard to tell because some of the eggs look just like this sand that we've got here, because of they're like little balls, this sand is. So because it's silicate sand, it's rounded glass effective. Well, all sand is, I guess, but anyway, it does look like there's some breeding action, and there's getting a lot of sort of to and fro in from the fish. You know, I can definitely see that we've got males and females in there now, and there's a lot of sort of breeding action going on. They bump up against each other, do this little dance. It's really cool. I'll try and capture it on film if I see it, but you know, it's one of those things. By the time you've gone and got the camera, they've stopped doing it. But this tank's doing really well. Wee, see what I mean? I mean, there's aggression. There's all that good behaviour you want to see in a little environment. If everyone's just staying still and bobbing around, something's not right. But they're like really making their home their own at the moment. I'm really happy about that, because that is what I was going for with this setup, making something that was kind of like realistic. Well, like I always say, as realistic as a glass box can be. So as always, guys, we've got tons and tons of stuff to come. In fact, I've got a new racking system arriving very shortly for some plans. I'll announce those later once I fully decide what I'm going to do. But if you haven't already, click the subscribe, click the like button, and I'll catch you on the next one.